I'm Brian Lilley. Welcome back to Byline. It is the type of story that everyone across the country should be talking about. A truly shocking murder out of Windsor, Ontario. A woman 7 months pregnant, bludgeoned to death, for her body found in a burned out home. Both the mother and baby dead. Christina Alaimo is with Campaign Life Coalition, joins me now from Toronto. Christina, I am shocked that this story isn't getting more coverage than it is across the country, and one of the reasons that I think it may not is that it raises uncomfortable questions that your organization has campaigned on before of whether a child at that age of gestation should be considered a separate murder charge.
Absolutely. It's pretty tragic, actually. The National Post just ran a story, and they mentioned just briefly that she was 7 months pregnant, and that's about all they mentioned. And so it's pretty tragic because I'm almost 100% certain that the prosecution will be for the murder of the young woman, Cassandra, and definitely not for her preborn child.
Who she'd already named. I believe she was going to call her Molly. It was known that she was going to have a girl. And now both mother and baby are dead. A child at 30 weeks gestation, here's a picture of Cassandra Cake here. A child at 30 weeks gestation is fully viable outside of the womb.
Absolutely.
There have been attempts in Parliament to say we should consider a separate charge. They have this in the United States, but it's fought tooth and nail. Why do you think that is?
I think for the most part, it's because when you start dealing with definitions about when life begins, I think it inevitably brings up questions about, you know, pre-viability as well, because, I mean, a person does not suddenly become a human being when they become viable, but in fact, before that, especially my organization, Campaign Life Coalition, we really promote the fact that a person is a human being and should have all the rights of a human being from conception to natural death. So it, I think, will bring up uncomfortable questions. So they don't even want to touch the idea of viability, even though it would have even more support than pre-viability, let's say, in terms of protecting them.
Even though, or even when these issues have been brought before Parliament, and I'm thinking of Rod Bernouge's bill a few years ago on coerced abortion. I'm thinking of, I believe it was Jake Epps' bill on someone being targeted because they're pregnant and being murdered, and the child dying as well. Both of those bills said, you know, to deal with all the people saying, well, you can't take choice away, you can't take choice, pro-choice, they said, when it has been the mother's choice to keep the child and you kill the mother and the child, then you're going to face a charge. Yeah. Even with those types of safeguards, the so-called pro-choice side doesn't want to talk about it. And they say, no, we can't allow this. It is a slippery slope. Are they afraid of any argument that might say there's some dignity to the baby?
I think absolutely. I mean, it's a slippery slope because once you open the door to, I mean, science, I mean, forget about anything else. When you open the door to when human life begins, of course it's a slippery slope because they're going to find out pretty quickly that science says that life begins at conception, and therefore any preborn child from conception to birth is deserving of all the rights of a born person. So of course it's a slippery slope.
All right, and we were talking earlier about viability. Even viability becomes that slippery slope because every year it seems that doctors find new ways to bring that threshold lower. Absolutely,
especially with technology the way it was. It's now at 21 weeks about for viability, and I anticipate it being pushed back even further and further as they develop things such as artificial wombs and better ICU units for preborn children or basically neonatal care, and I just anticipate it gets better and better, and so there is really no excuse for denying personhood or rights to these individuals.
Now I want to give a shout out to LifeSite News because they did a story on this. That's what alerted to me. I'd missed this elsewhere. Do you think that more Canadians need to hear the story of Cassandra Cake?
I think they do, and I think this is an opportunity to reach people in the middle, people who are not necessarily, let's say, pro-life from conception to birth, but to harness the vote and the sentiments of those people who would say, you know what, at viability, at least, these preborn children should be considered human beings under the law and protected. And I think that will open up a larger conversation about when life begins that simply is not being opened in Canada.
Christina, thanks so much.
No problem.
All right, now think about this, everyone. A woman bludgeoned to death, 7 months pregnant. Have you heard about this story elsewhere? Has it been spread widely? Where are the feminists calling out for justice for this woman so brutally murdered?